Imagine a world where smartphone designs are no longer bound by traditional norms. A world where innovation knows no limits, and manufacturers are constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Welcome to the reality of the smartphone industry, where Sony's latest offering, the Xperia 10V, is making waves with its bold new design. But here's the thing. This phone's design is not just a cosmetic overhaul. It's a statement of intent from Sony, a company that's been struggling to keep up with the competition in recent years. The Xperia 10V is a mid-range Android phone that's launching in the UK, Europe, and Asia, but not in the US. And while it may not be a flagship device, it's certainly turning heads with its sleek new look. Gone is the traditional vertically stacked camera setup, replaced by a horizontal camera pair mounted in a pill-shaped raised bar that stretches across the phone's back. It's a design that's reminiscent of Google's Pixel phones and even Apple's latest iPhone Air, but with a distinctly Sony twist. But what's behind this design shift? Is it simply a case of Sony following the crowd? Or is there something more to it? Let's take a closer look. The matte plastic body of the Xperia 10 SF comes in 3 colors: black, white, and turquoise. It's a bold new look that's sure to divide opinion. But one thing's for sure, it's a departure from the traditional Sony design language. And this is the part that most people will miss. The fact that this design change is not just about aesthetics. It's about Sony's commitment to innovation and its desire to stay relevant in a rapidly changing market. Now, let's talk about the specs. The Xperia 10 SF is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 chipset, which is no powerhouse, but it gets the job done. The dual rear cameras, consisting of a 50-megapixel main camera and a 13-megapixel ultra-wide camera, are typical for a mid-range device. The 5,000 amp-hour battery should last for 2 days, according to Sony, but charging is limited to wired. And here's where it gets controversial. Some people may argue that Sony's decision to ditch the traditional 21:9 aspect ratio in favor of a more traditional 19.5:9 ratio is a step backwards. But others may see it as a necessary move to stay competitive. The phone also features a 3.5mm headphone jack, expandable micro SD storage, and front-facing stereo speakers, all of which are welcome additions. The joint IP65-68 rating is also a nice touch, providing protection against dust and water. And then there's the side-mounted single-stage camera shutter button, a feature that's less unique than it used to be, but still a nice touch. So, what does this mean for Sony's future in the smartphone market? The company has recently reiterated that the Xperia phones are very important to it, and this redesign could be a sign of its commitment to the line. But here's the question. Will it be enough to convince consumers to choose Sony over its competitors? Only time will tell. The Xperia 10 VII is available to pre-order now in the UK and Europe, shipping from September 19th, and it costs €449, £399, around $530. It's a price that's competitive with other mid-range devices on the market. But it's the design that's the real talking point. So, what do you think? Is Sony's new design a bold step forward, or a misguided attempt to follow the crowd? Let us know in the comments.